Okay guys, so I want to start off the meeting with some very big news. We have another marketing contract with the film industry. Hollywood's tapped us again. It's been a while since the last one, mostly because Dean Cain was in it. But this one is massive. I mean, it's going to be as big as Star Wars Episode 2, I think, in terms of hype and build and press excitement. It's called Billy Bojangles, and I don't know if any of you have read the Billy Bojangles books.
I haven't read them at all, no.
No problem. We're marketers. We don't actually have to know anything about the product we're delivering, but it's good, I think, to at least get a little primer. So I'll tell you how this goes. Billy Bojangles is a young boy who lives with his bad uncle and aunt and a kid called Dergstrom, and he's in England. Little Pinching is the town that he's in, and they bully him, his family. Like, his parents died because of something that we learn later in the film, but either way, he's thinking, like, it's going to be horrible. He hates his life. He's never going to do well. And then he's visited by a big man, a big, large man, called Haggerum, played by Robbie Coltrane. And he comes up to him and he says, "Oh, you've got a secret, little boy!" And he's like, "No, I don't. Fuck off. Who are you? Why are you so big? You're, like, really tall. It's stupid." And he's like, "Shut up! You're gonna come with me to a magical school, but not magic. It's something else for definites. You're a chef, Billy." And this is what magnificent for him. He finds out he is an artisanal chef and gets sent to a school to learn how to hone his powers. And obviously non-cooks aren't allowed to know about this. They're called the Buggles, and it's like a secret world that he gets sent to on a magical train, but not magic. They do have to reinforce several times throughout the film that what they're doing is not magic, it's cooking, okay? And he goes to Bratwurst School of Cookery and Chefcraft, where the headmaster, played by Gordon Ramsay, is there to greet them all, and he's like, "Fuck you, you little shits! You dirty twats! Welcome to Bratwurst School of Cookery and Chefcraft! Fuck off, no stay!" And he sorts them all into 4 separate houses. Chicken Door, Brazen Claw, Slither Ribs, and Hufflepuff. And they learn to hone their powers. As you know, there's hilarious bits when they're making pancakes, and Anthony Bourdain is there with long greasy black hair, and he's like, "Billy Bojangles, make me a sausage roll, I'm hungry." And he has to do it because he is a very scary man. And we think he might be a bad guy because sometimes he walks around going, "I'm not a bad guy, oh," like that. And he's talking to some of the bad teachers. And he's in Slither Ribs. He's the head of Slither Ribs. And they're bad because they only do, like, French fries and poutine and po' boys. Just like the really unhealthy stuff.
Low food.
Low food, exactly. Yeah. And we find out that there was, like, this whole schism back in the day when the bread eaters rose up against all the healthy artisanal salads that were being cooked by Chicken Door. And that was a whole thing. And they were led by an evil chef called Pullamore, who is a large lady who wanted to make all of the children eat butter and donuts all the time. And we find out that she tried to force-feed Billy Bojangles when he was a little boy. She tried to force-feed him a McRib and couldn't do it. The McRib kind of smeared across his face because it wouldn't go in his mouth. And it left this lightning-shaped smear of barbecue sauce on his head that won't come off. And he's always wanted to know the secret of that
sauce? The secret of the sauce?
The secret of the sauce. And he becomes known as the boy who wouldn't eat a McRib. And Pullamore comes back, and she's in the back of the head of one of the other guys, whose name I can't be bothered to think of right now. And it's in the back of the head just going, oh, Billy Bojangles, come over here. I've got some donuts for you. They're glazed in salt and chips. And he's like, no, I don't want to eat it. I'm not really that hungry. You see, I had a Caesar salad, so I'm not really feeling like it. And then the head, at the back of their head, is all just, oh, okay then. And then the film ends.
This sounds strangely much like that fantasy movie Lord of the Rings. Did anybody tell the director this, or?
He's a bit sensitive about that. It was brought up, and the director got really angry. I don't know if you know the director. He goes by the name of Daniel Radcliffe. He's actually very new on the directing scene, but he was furious when it was brought up. He said, "This is nothing fucking like Lord of the Rings. You must be thinking of some other film." And we kind of left it there because he got very angry. I don't know if you know about him. He is the guy who is very famous for doing a stage show in London where he was naked and jizzed on the front row of the audience. It was a bit of a thing for him. He's a bit weird, actually. He keeps sort of refilming the Sorting Hat scene where Billy Bojangles is put in Chicken Door, and he just keeps going, yeah, that's right, that's good. For like 10 minutes, he'll just be like, that's good. Put him in Chicken Door, he's a good boy, I'm a good boy, he's a good boy. I don't know what his deal is, but do not mention the Lotra trilogy if you see him. And he might come around.
So, what kind of budget do we have to promote this?
Right now, we are looking at least £100, which is one of the biggest budgets we've ever had. Like, they're going all out on this. So anything we can do to promote it, I'm thinking going to schools, sort of local schools, and cooking up food for them.
Maybe we do a food truck. Maybe we do. What's the name of the school again?
That's Bratwurst School for Cookery and Chefcraft.
Okay, so the Bratwurst School for Cookery and Chefcraft magic bus. Goes around to the schools.
I actually know a guy who works for the sort of state sanitation department. He can get us a dump truck. We can fill that full of chicken nuggets, and we can just have the kids jump off the roof of their local school into the dump truck of chicken nuggets and swim around in it like Scrooge McDuck in his money bin. Except instead of coins, deadly coins, it's chicken nuggets, tasty chicken nuggets, right off the roof of their school, into the dump truck full of chicken and bread. And we just tell them you're going to have a magical time, but not magical, this isn't magic. And come to see our film, Billy Bojangles. And the Philosopher's Scone.
As part of our responsibilities for the fun committee, I thought it would be a good idea if maybe next weekend we got everybody together and we did a little sports day.
What's a sports day? Is that a day of sports?
Yeah, it's like a leisure activity where, we get the fun Gestapo together and have them round up all the employees.
I love the fun Gestapo.
They are.
Ever since we instituted them, office hijinks are up by 60%. And the Gestapo never even have to use their cattle prods all that much anymore to make sure people are always smiling. And as we say at the FistShark Marketing Fund Committee, a smiling office is an office that smiles. And demanding that people maintain a Richter's grin at all times. I've been suggesting some people just get a small, print out just a small I'd say, sort of Polaroid-sized picture of the Joker from Batman, and just pop that on their computer monitors and just try and emulate that face throughout the day. And anybody who doesn't do it, they get a corrective, what we call fun zap, from one of the prods of the...
I gotta say, Doris from accounting has really gone all out in support of this initiative. She went and got a full Botox paralyzation of her face. Have you seen it?
I have, and I think, I'll be honest, it looked alarming at first, but now that I've had a few days to sort of stare at it, and I've been really staring, but she's smiling, so I assume she likes it. It's grown on me a lot, so I'm happy about that. I'm less impressed with Craig, who has not been smiling at all, no matter how many times we not electrocute, how many times we motivate him. He doesn't seem to be too happy. I think he needs to come out of his shell. And I think some people would say that's because I superglued him into that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles costume. But we peeled that off of him, and he's got most of his skin. So I don't know why he's so miserable all the time.
Plus, you gave him Donatello, and we all know Donatello's the best, so I don't understand what he was crying about.
Ungrateful.
He does machines! Donatello does machines. This is what I tried to tell him when I tried to make him fuck that MacBook Air. And he wouldn't have any of it. He was all, no, where do I stick it in? Where do I stick it in? And I'm like, right there. And I just kind of, I was smearing it on the screen. And he was kind of crying and saying, like, stop holding it, this is inappropriate. And I'm like, zap him, Boris. And then he did a little dance, mostly because I told him to, and I said I'd punch him if he didn't. But it was a fun dance. And he looked like Donatello when he did it, and he had a MacBook Air, like, just sort of smearing on his little dinkle. And everybody had a good laugh. I really think he needs to be a focal point of this sports day.
Okay, well then, alright. So, what kind of sports do we want to do? Do we want to do, like, some sort of soccer challenges, or maybe set up an obstacle course, or, I don't know, like flag football?
Now, when you say day, is this, like, all day, like, work day? Is this 24 hours?
Oh, this is a 36-hour event.
36 hours, okay.
Yeah, no one sleeps either. Like, it's just non-stop sporting.
To be honest, with FistShark, because they've done a few over the years, but when FistShark does a sports day, it's more like a sports festival, like Glastonbury, or the Reading Festival, or Woodstock even, but with a sports-themed bent to it. And I see. I like all the sports you listed. Soccer I like. Soccer is the one where an office intern stands in a big field and everyone kicks like balls at him, right?
So this is basically field day, except we're adults kicking instead of children kicking other children. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, there will be a lot of kicking involved, because studies show, I can bring up the studies. Studies show that kicking makes you feel powerful, gives you a rush of energy, burns calories, and ultimately leads to a healthier, fitter office lifestyle. So we're going to kick a load of footballs at Craig, and he's going to like it.
Well, you know what might be fun? Mm-hmm. Maybe we set up like a wrestling tournament of some kind. Get everybody in the office, make costumes, and develop personas. We can come up with a little script. It might be fun.
I like that. I like that a lot. I always sort of had a bit of a dream of joining a professional wrestling federation. Something like the ECL or Slamtacular or something like that. I was always going to call myself Mixmaster Butt Blaster, and maybe time to dust off my trunks and give that a go. I'd be up for that.
Well then, okay, so like we'll rent a auditorium at like a local high school or something for the weekend. And but what kind of wrestling events do we want to do? I mean, because we can't just do your standard, 2 in the ring deal. I mean, this is a FistShark event. There's got to be some excitement associated with that. We could do like a Royal Rumble, or a cage match of some kind. I don't know. I'm just sort of throwing ideas out there.
I like all that. I think we should start with a few regular matches. I can open this up. I can do a dark match as Mixmaster Butt Blaster, and maybe go up against sort of Dr. Craig McMuscles. I think Craig would be up for that. Again, this is all... A lot of what I want to do here is get Craig a bit more social and give him something to talk about.
Well,
he does just sit there quietly.
He's clearly the dark spot in this office culture at this point, and we really need to get him involved. And once he's in there, I think that's really the last nail in the coffin for company morale.
This is really going to help him here because we're doing it at his high school, so he can prove to the rest of his class how manly he is. This is really going to help him here while we beat him up. It's going to be prime time for him.
Oh, I imagine that I've also invited his family. Any past romantic interests, there's an ex-girlfriend who also went to the school, and she says she's going to come and watch. And people will watch and think, wow, we thought he was a bit of a dick, but it turns out he is awesome. Look at him being wrestled. So I'll wrestle him first. That'll be the opening match, and everyone will go, yeah, Craig. It'll be a coming-of-home story. Next up, I think, tag team match. That'll be... you two could do that.
Sure.
We'll get you two together, tag team, versus the tag team of the Masked Craig. And... that'll do. I don't think anyone will tag team with him, but you two on Craig, the Masked Craig. He'll be there as a different persona.
I think that's a fair fight.
That seems reasonable. I mean, I'm kind of a lover, not a fighter, anyway. But tag team with Caitlin. I think we could probably that'd be an even match between us and Craig. What's the Masked Craig's mask gonna be?
Well, bits of that Donatello head are still on him. We can try and work something with that, like maybe add a bit of more green putty and sort of try and make a Swamp Thing type thing. I really do think we should work with the bits of burned Donatello mask, and also I think there's still some Frankenstein on there from Halloween.
Well, we should go with what's there if it's already fused to his face. Obviously.
Yeah. On a side note, I do think it's adorable. He gets the acne remover and just tries to paint over the bits that are there. It's like, we all know that it's bullshit, but he's a doer. He's a trier, even if he is sort of just this sour element in the office at the moment.
Okay, so we have you and Dr. Craig Muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by tag team of me and Caitlin against the Masked Craig.
Yeah.
Okay. We need a big, closer event.
Something that
really brings the house down.
I'm already on it. I'm sending a text right now to a few guys I know. Let me have a look here. There we go. I know a guy who knows... professional MMA fighter and WWE personality Brock Lesnar.
Ooh.
Yes. Now, he is an amazing specimen of human conditioning. He is... I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen the guy, but he's fucking massive. And I think we should do a cage match between him and Craig.
Just Brock and Craig, huh?
Brock and Craig. That'll be his third persona. Craig. He'll have trunks on with the stars and stripes, but on the back it'll say, "I hate what's on the front." He'll be one of those anti-American kind of personalities.
So just going full heel at that point.
Full heel. I think that's what people want to see. They want to boo Craig. They want to throw, full cans of drink at Craig. They want to toss their own chairs over the top of the cage so that Brock Lesnar can hammer the shit out of him. For America! Because Craig will come out and he'll shout, I'm a terrorist and also a communist and some other things that you don't like. French as well. He'll go, "Le America, le sucks." And people will say, they'll throw switchblades at him. They'll throw, used syringes towards him, like darts. It'll be fantastic.
And then bring Brock Lesnar into the ring.
Yeah, and everyone will cheer. He'll come out wearing, like draped over his shoulders, an American flag. And they'll probably just kick fuck out of him. And I think that's what people will want to see. Morale will be up. Craig will stop eating at office happiness like a wolf
And
at a feast of happiness.
He'll probably stop eating in general, which, thankfully everyone's contents in the fridge will be safe for once.
And he could stand to lose a few pounds, the tubby little fucker.
I think this is going to work out great for everyone.
Yeah, especially Craig, who I think by this point is, he just needs a social life. And what are we if not providers of what people need?
I'd like to talk about our lawsuits for the week. As you guys know, it's a good thing to discuss what's coming in the doors every day. So Kanye West is suing us again for dream libel.
Dream libel.
Yeah, this isn't anything special. This is about the fourth or fifth time he's done this to us. Anytime someone in our office has a dream about him, he somehow knows. And he sues us.
He's done this several times.
Several.
Oh, God. The man drives me up the wall. He won't sign with us, and he keeps trying to sue us. Okay, fine, we'll fight it. What else have we got?
So one more recently, our blood drive, Jim, I wasn't there that day, but Jim, I believe you ran that. Something about children.
Okay, they're suing. Okay, fine. Okay. I hoped it wouldn't come to a court thing. Obviously, the parents have disappointed me on that. Basically, it was a simple thing. We were hosting a blood drive to promote McShiny's convenience store. They'd opened a new branch, and there was a little blood drive there. Raise some blood for the Red Cross and all this shit. Good for them, good for us, good for everybody. Or we thought. Basically, what happened was some children ended up in the blood donor van and gave blood. Now, I tried to argue at the time. The kids snuck themselves in. Now, I don't know if this is the latest form of juvenile delinquency. It's the illegal giving of blood. But it does almost seem like society. This is what I tried to tell them. This is society's fault, not I. That we've become so relaxed in what we allow our children to do that the only form of rebellion they have left is the illegal underage giving of blood. We didn't force those children into that van. They snuck in. Now, some would say, why didn't the medical staff taking the blood check them? Dr. Throtenstein's has cataracts. I can't be responsible for Dr. Throtenstein's eyesight. I just can't.
The man cannot read an ID.
He can't read an ID. To the point that he won't read an ID. Throtenstein's is adamant about that. He doesn't read IDs because it triggers negative feelings he has about his cataracts. So I'm not about to damage a professional, a dedicated professional, who has been doctoring for 92 years. I'm not about to make him feel bad when he's just trying to get blood. And doesn't America need more blood? Yes, it does.
And what kind of parents are these that would, just have so little control over their children that they would...
And so many children!
How many kids are we talking about here? 6, 7?
34. 34 children, right? That's...
What is this world coming to?
There's
when
about
that many
5
parents...
sets of parents. That's the other thing. 5 sets of parents, 32 children. Now, I'm not one to shame people, tell them how to live their life. That's too many children for so few parents. And some of them single
Were they
parent
Catholics?
households. I think 2 of them were.
So that accounts for what, 20?
Maybe. I didn't break it down by child, especially once the... I hesitate to use the word outbreak, started. But basically the upshot, the thing that really upset them was, less so the giving of blood, which obviously was bad because it made a lot of them weak and woozy, although some of the households that I suspect are fueled by alcohol didn't seem to care too much that the children were basically, I would call them limp rags at that point. They got very weak.
That's bullshit. I'm sorry. I know I wasn't there, but I put in the cookie orders. There were plenty of sugary treats there. If the children felt woozy and snuck in, they would have gone for those treats. So we can't assume responsibility for this.
Yeah, although to be quite fair, a three-legged dog did get into a lot of those cookies. But we brushed most of them off and put them back on the tray, and I don't think anybody noticed. But some of them were just fussy and didn't want to go for that after a three-legged dog had gotten into them. Which, again, like, I've got to talk about... Yeah, and we've got to have another word about standards. Your standards are so low that you would sneak into a blind man's blood van, but so high that you won't eat dog-eaten cookies. The word priorities comes into my head when I think about that.
There's a bit of a disconnect there. Yeah.
There's a bit of a disconnect. But more to the point, the main issue that the parents have is that roughly 75% of the children left that day with the consumption, which I didn't even know the consumption was still a thing. But some of them did cough into lacy handkerchiefs and find little red spots on there, and then found out they had the consumption, which obviously is sad, boo-hoo, but it's mostly a treatable disease, probably. And I checked the needles that Dr. Throtenstein used. He had taken the rustiest ones out already, so I don't see how we could have done any more to prevent what happened. The children snuck in of their own accord, tricked a kind elderly man into taking their blood against his will, and then got themselves the consumption for it. Now, I'm not one to victim blame, but if I were to point at the victims, I'd say it was us. I'd say it was FistShark marketing, and really, we shouldn't be blamed.
I smell countersuit.
I like that smell. That's one of my favourite smells, next to burned hair of an intern. I think we should hit back, and hit back hard, for trickery of an old man, illegal forcing of blood onto us, the wastrel attitude of cookies. We at least need to be paid back for them. And whoever it was that strangled the dog in the end, I think it was one of the bigger kids, we had to clean that up. So, cleaning costs.
Yeah.
I reckon we should sue them for at least £900.
All right, well, so we've had this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can make lemonade.
I do like lemonade.
There's been some research lately that's indicated that young blood transfused into older patients restores some of their strength and mental acuity. Now, we have all of this 10-year-old blood, and, I mean...
Yeah, nobody will take it.
Yeah, nobody will take it. We can't just, give it to the blood bank. But maybe we could find some of our older clients who might, have that fear of the cold grip of death on their shoulder at every waking moment.
Mm-hmm. I know that's a particular fear of Val Kilmer's.
There we go. Okay, so maybe we just call Val Kilmer up and offload all of this 10-year-old blood.
Oh, dude, he will drink the shit out of that blood. I've seen him do it. Pigeon blood, rat blood, blood of animals that I didn't even think were alive anymore as a species. He'll quaff that shit. The word is quaff for that. Like, he'll drink that down, and I reckon he'll feel right as rain. And like I said, hospitals won't take that stuff, mostly because of the whole cholera thing. So I think that's the best time for
He has been asking us lately, Craig's been taking his pizza orders, and he's been asking us to dump out the sauce in the Tabasco sauce bottle and fill it with human blood. So this could be an opportunity for us.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Problem
that's
solved.
perfect.
Problem solved.
When life gives you 10-year-old choleric blood, you make lemonade.
Guys, we need to talk about Dean Cain. He's been hanging around the office all week, and everywhere he goes, he's leaving these little piles of white powder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to, like... It's weird, because, like, Craig obviously sees white powder, immediately goes, cuts it into lines, and snorts it.
Obviously, yeah, it's like a Pavlovian response for that boy.
And it's not cocaine or heroin, it's raw sugar from the outside of Sour Patch Kids, like the burning sensation. Admittedly, it was really, really funny watching Craig scream and howl as he ran through the office with his nose held high in the air. But
I was wondering what that was about.
Yeah, Dean's walking around with pockets full of Sour Patch Kids again.
Okay. I had a feeling that's what it might have been. Like, I'd have almost preferred for it to have been cocaine.
Now, is he still hoarding the red ones, or has he moved on to other colors?
No, it's mostly just the red that he sticks to. In fact, we had an issue last week with our toilet being backed up because he had taken every single other color out of the package, stuffed the red ones in his pocket, and then tried to flush all of the rest of the bag at once.
That goddamn bastard.
Well, that's my biggest problem with the guy. Is like, he's not earning a lot of money. He asks to borrow money from me, presumably to buy bags of Sour Patch Kids, and he's wasting most of the bag. I'm like, Dean, that's a full dinner for you. You put them on a plate with a knife and fork so it's not weird. That's a full dinner for you, is a plate of Sour Patch Kids. And, I mean, there's gotta be less than 10 red in any bag.
Right.
Like, that's not a sustainable lifestyle, Dean.
No, he's got to at least branch out into the oranges. I mean, it's similar color circle. I don't understand why he can't at least eat half of them.
Well, have we found any work for him at all?
Well, none he wants to take. I mean, that's the other problem with him. He's wasting his money on candy that he doesn't eat, and he's not taking the jobs we give him. I've been spending the last few days trying to convince him to take that job at CC's Pizza. I told him, like, it's still a kind of acting job. You can act employed. And he got upset with me as he normally does. He says, don't you know who I am? I played Superman in Lois and Clark, and to a lesser extent, I was in, well, anyway, shut up, I'm Dean Cain. That's what he said to me. And I said, look, mate, I'm sorry, but there's not that much demand for you. There is a lot of demand for people to work at CC's Pizza. It's a mathematical equation. It's not even me saying it. It's pure and simple math. There are lots of jobs in food. The stuff you don't fucking eat. And there's not many jobs in acting because Ryan Reynolds is there.
And it's covered. It's done. Like,
yeah.
You don't need another actor, period. We're finished.
Exactly.
I think he's forgetting that he could be some kid's Superman by serving him a slice of free pepperoni pizza. I don't understand why he's not getting that.
Exactly. Yeah, like he could go up to them and say, I will quell the Lex Luthor of your hunger, have a slice of meat feasty, and shut up. And he's not having it. It's almost like an honest day's work is kryptonite to that fucking boy.
Well, is it the uniform? Is that the problem? Because I know the guy has his own peculiar fashion sense.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the checkerboard polo shirt and black slacks? Like, is he ditching the sweatpants going to be too much trouble for him, or what?
Well, that's my main... Another thing I tried to spin to him as a positive. Like, he's got a set of clothes, and it's not a good set of clothes. In a CC's uniform, or a Wendy's shirt, like, he's dressed like a normal adult almost. Albeit an adult who really likes fast food logos on themselves.
Or is a failure as a human being, right?
Yeah, not that I'm saying that's what he is.
No. Just he would look like that. That's all.
But
Yeah, exactly.
it's free. He gets it for free. He can wear it wherever he chooses, not even at work. He can go out, CC's Pizza.
Actually, they charge you for the uniform at CC's. Yeah.
You know what? I'll comp him. I'll buy him the uniform. I will buy him the uniform outright if he wears it.
Yeah, that's going to happen. You know he's just going to turn up back here on Thursday in those sweatpants and a wife beater.
Yeah, well,
pockets full of Sour Patch Kids.
Pockets jam-packed with them, like to the point where even when he's standing normally, you can see them bubbling up over the top of his damn pockets.
It looks like he has gonorrhea that is let go, like, way too long. It's just this sort of bulgy, pocky, mass in way too close to the center of his pants, by the way. I don't know why he shoves his pockets so that, everything like moves to the very, very front. I would think keep it along the thigh, pal, but here he's got this sort of weird, bulgy, uneven, like not smooth mass of wrinkled Sour Patch Kid. Just, God.
When I first saw him with those pockets stuffed as full as they are, I thought he had 2 cancers on his leg. And I was really sensitive to it. It was a really awkward meeting. But then, he came back then next month, fucking more hair than ever on his head. And then, obviously, we saw the patches of sugar. I bought him new shoes for Christmas. He went back to the bags with string. It's almost like he's just trying to make some sort of statement, some sort of protest. He's probably just annoyed that Hollywood didn't give him a role in Guardians of the Galaxy. And I told him, I said, look, you may act like a raccoon, but they've got CGI for that. FistShark Marketing are Jim Sterling, Conrad Zimmerman, and Caitlin Cook. Intro music by Ben Rama. Incidental segue music by Alazar Chand. If you like us, you can follow us on Twitter @FistShark, give us a rating or a review on iTunes, or send any mail you might have to fistshark@aol.com. You can also put your complaints there as well. Bye!